Hi, I'm Dan Weedin. Welcome to the newest edition of Weedin Unleashed. Today is, I believe, June 8th, June 8th, 2015. Thanks for joining me at this time. We get together just about every Monday. I wish I could say it was absolutely every Monday, but just about every Monday at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So we're here for another edition. I am joined, you can't see him, I am joined by Captain Jack, and Bella's in the other room, and I have the windows open because it's hot up here. It's going to be in the mid-80s again here in the Seattle area, and so I'm hoping that the dogs will sleep through all the noises and things that happen during the course of this event. That's what happens when we have a live broadcast here on Google. I'm happy that you joined us, and there's more important things than to talk about dogs sleeping, so let's get right to it. Today's Extra Points was about an experience that I just had last week on my golfing trip. I guess it was last week, so I didn't have it. There was no Weedin Unleashed last week. I was at a golf trip in Palm Springs with my high school buddies. We get together every single year, and I've done so now for the past 20 years. Getting together and playing a weekend full of golf and having a great time. We started when we were 30 years old, and lo and behold, this was the 20th anniversary. So we decided to make it a big deal and go down to Palm Springs and spend some time in the desert and the heat, and bottom line is we had a great time. In so doing, I reviewed the golf courses on Travel Advisor. I realized many months ago, actually about the beginning of the year, that I was a user. I was a user of information that came from platforms like Yelp and Travel Advisor. Anytime I went to a restaurant, anytime I was looking at a place to stay, I was always checking out either Travel Advisor or Yelp to find out what other people's information was on the place, what I should be eating, what I should be aware of. Was this a clean location? Was it fun? Was the experience good? And I've always benefited from that. So I realized at some point that as a user, I needed to change my paradigm and become a giver. And what I started doing at the beginning of the year is becoming much more cognizant about leaving my own review. And so I started doing that. At places I went, I'd review on Yelp, and at places that I stayed or experiences that I had, I would review on Travel or TripAdvisor. I don't know if I said Travel Advisor before, but TripAdvisor. So the golf courses are on TripAdvisor, and that was nothing different. So I went on and I reviewed all 4 golf courses that I played on TripAdvisor. Now, these courses were all magnificent. Pete Dye and Jack Nicklaus were at least 2 of the main architects, and of course they're down in a wonderful part of the world to play golf, and so all the courses were great. So the reviews from me were actually very good. Ironically, until just a few days ago, I've never received any type of response other than from TripAdvisor or Yelp thanking me for my review. But that changed a few days ago when one golf course thanked me. The Westin at Mission Hills is in Rancho Mirage. It's a Pete Dye course for those of you who are golf aficionados. It's a Pete Dye course. It's a classic course. It's on Dinosaur Drive. They've played, I think they've played LPGA events there, and it's very famous. Played there on our final day on Monday, reviewed it because not only did I play there, we had lunch there. And the response that came from the Westin was this: "Dear Mr. Weedin, thank you for your review. We are very happy that you had a great time, not only on the course, but at the restaurant. We welcome you back. We welcome you to come back the next time you're in the area." Very simple. Didn't take them very long. They thanked me. The first one to do that. Now, I know for a fact, and having talked to people in the hospitality business, the importance of TripAdvisor, the absolute importance of TripAdvisor, because people are looking at them. When I was in Bogota, Colombia a few years ago, the general manager of the hotel I was staying at asked me if I would do it. He did a great job, but he asked me if I could do a TripAdvisor review for them because they had dignitaries from across the world that were making decisions on their hotel. So I know they look at this. Why is it that only one, out of all the reviews I've done, I've probably done a dozen now this year, why is it that only one place has said thank you and has just basically acknowledged that I did anything? Look, it's not that hard. You can have somebody, you can have an intern, for goodness sakes, monitor TripAdvisor if you're a hotel or a golf course, or Yelp or TripAdvisor as well if you're a restaurant. You can have people monitor that on a daily basis. You only have to do it once a day. And to respond to all of those people, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, you want to respond too. But if it's good or bad, to give a quick response like that, I'm definitely going back. I probably would have anyway, but I'm definitely going back now because I remember that. Whenever I'm flying Alaska Airlines, I will often hashtag it on Twitter with my experience. And usually, within about a half an hour, they respond to me. How hard is it? If Alaska Airlines, if the Westin Mission Hills, if they can do it, so can others. Here's my point for you as a business. Because you may not be worried about TripAdvisor or Yelp, and you're saying, what are we talking about here, Dan? Well, let me tell you, you have clients, you have prospects, you have colleagues, you have people that you work with that you should be paying attention to when they do something for you or when you do something for them and they acknowledge it. How often are you thanking them for their business? How often are you sending a card? Maybe just a quick email? How often are you checking to see if anybody said anything to you? I just posted a LinkedIn article today, a post on LinkedIn, and I will occasionally go in and just check and see what people say and thank them. If you comment on my blog, whenever people post on my blog, I always say thank you. It might not be immediately, but at least within the first 24 hours, I'm going to say thank you for posting. Look, it's not that hard. The digital experience is easy for all of us, even Luddites like myself. You know, we can figure it out. You can too. And so the important part is of this whole thing is that, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention to your customers, to your clients, to your prospects, to the people that are using your services, using your products, saying things about you, usually good? Are you thanking them? Are you acknowledging their presence? Just like the Westin's Mission Hills and just like Alaska Airlines do for me. So I know we have some viewers out there. I see we have several, and this is your opportunity right now. I've been blathering on here for almost 10 minutes. This is your opportunity to join in the fray. There's a comment and question bar off to your right there. You can take advantage of that. I think I did it right. I think I put it up there right. So you can go ahead and ask any questions, make any comments on this topic. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to have a dialogue with you. And in fact, I'll take this moment to say thank you for coming on. Many of you who are on here today, on this broadcast today, are regulars. And so I want to thank you. It means a lot to me that I have somebody usually on the other end that I'm chatting with. Many of you are watching this on YouTube. Thank you for taking the time to watch it later. You're taking 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to do that. And I'm appreciative. I'm grateful of that. And so this is your opportunity. If you have something to say, go ahead and write it down. Or let's see here. It looks like it's working. So if you have anything that you'd like to add to this concept of paying attention, that's what I titled it, paying attention. Are you keeping an eye open and ears open for the things that your clients, your best clients, are saying about you? Did they recently give you a testimonial or a referral? Did you acknowledge that? Did they buy something new lately? Did they add to the service? Did you send a thank you card? I'm in the habit of sending thank you cards because I think it's important. My mother instilled that in me as a youth. I used to hate doing it, but now I think it's very important. Dave Gardner. Dave's got something up there. He said, I'm seeing people on Twitter vent like 2-year-olds when things don't go right. Dave, you're right. And I don't think there's many 2-year-olds on Twitter, so we're talking about adults here. Whenever something goes wrong, Twitter and other social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, but especially Twitter, people go nuts. People complain and all that. This is true. And my point about Alaska Airlines is that they're at least paying attention. If somebody says something poorly about them, they're going to respond. Starbucks is about the same. They do a good job. In fact, it was about a year ago or so, I was stuck on the tarmac on an Alaska Airlines flight in Chicago. What had happened is we'd all boarded, but something back in Seattle went haywire with the technology, and we couldn't take off. And so I made a comment, and it wasn't a negative one, really. It was, here I am sitting on the tarmac in Chicago on Alaska Air, and we're stuck here. We don't know how long. Hopefully I'll be getting home soon. Well, I was still sitting there because I was able to keep my phone on regular. While I was sitting there, Alaska Air tweeted back and said, boy, we're sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you for being a client or customer, and thank you for your patience. We're going to get this fixed as soon as possible. It's more than 140 characters, but you get my gist. That's what businesses need to do. They need to allay any of the issues or challenges that come up. People on Twitter vent. Dave is right. But if you are at something, or if you're hashtag something, you should know what people are saying about you, both good and bad, because you have a chance to help in both those situations, enhance your value or help out when things don't seem to be going well. Dave also says American Air does a good job of responding to social media. It's been years since I've flown on American. That's good to hear. And nothing other than Alaska is my local favorite. But thanks for sharing that, Dave. Airlines probably are doing a better job of that than most, but you'd think hotels would. But again, this is about you. You may not be a hotel owner. You may be a consultant. You may be a professional service provider of some sort. You may be a speaker. Look, I went and did a speech last week on Thursday. I got a lot of cards. I got a lot of people who wanted to get more information. Today, they're getting all of that. I'm following up with everybody. I'm thanking people for being there. I'm thanking the organizers for having asked me. Those are things that you need to continually do on a regular basis. Dave's on a roll. He says, so many folks say, I'll never fly your airline again. Yeah, you know, what do you do like that? Maybe you should be contacting them if they're saying, well, I'm never working with you again. My guess is all of you who are on this call don't have that issue. But think about what type of what you can use technology for to be able to enhance your reputation, to enhance your brand. In the end, that's really what we're talking about, isn't it? Is your reputation and your brand being enhanced with how you treat your clients and your prospects. Dave's had 3 here. I'm glad of that. Thanks, Dave. Keep it up. I'm also glad that I know you're a regular regular guest here on my broadcast. I want to thank you very much. Anybody else out there? I see we have other people. Any other comments or questions related to today's concept? We're getting about to the 15-minute mark. That seems to be the lifespan of this. While I wait, I will remind you that I'll be back again on Weedin Unleashed next Monday, noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern, all times in between. I want to invite you to subscribe to my blog at weedin360.com. You get my extra points there. You can also subscribe to Extra Points, which is my monthly or my weekly missive that I put out there. You can either go to danweedin.com or you can email me at dan@danweedin.com. And as far as websites, I just sent the final specs into my web design. I'm not sure if specs is the right word, but I just sent it in. My website, my new, improved, and really cool website that I'm very proud of, should be should be announced here, I'm hoping, within about the next week, maybe even sooner. So maybe by this time next week, I'll have my new website up. It'll be bigger and better than ever, and with lots of free resources and fun things on. So stay tuned for that. Anybody else have anything out there to talk about on, are you paying attention? Are you keeping track of when people are saying good things about you, when they're saying maybe not so good things about you? Are you responding? Are you acknowledging their existence? I'm acknowledging your existence. I know you're out there. I miss you kind of the last few seconds to add something. If you can, if you're having trouble, I see Dave made it through, but if you're having trouble, let me know that as well. So for right now, I guess that's it. I want to thank you very much. Captain Jack made it through the whole thing without one bark or one squeal. I'm off to have lunch, so I think he's probably going to join me. I just want to thank each one of you for joining me here, either live or if you're watching it on YouTube later. Thank you very much. We will do this again next week. New topic, but new topic, but same place, same time. For right now, I want to thank each and every one of you again. We will see you on Weedin Unleashed next Monday at the same time. Until then, ciao.